As we said, from set design to costumes and special effects, making movies look and feel authentic takes a village, and some major players work and live right here in Western New York.
News 4's Jen Shantz got this unique look inside the Queen City's Hollywood. Jen?
Well, Jackie, think about the last time you were inside a movie theater, from the smell of the popcorn to the feel of those velvet seats and even the details on the big screen. It's all about an experience, and that experience isn't just crafted in New York City or Los Angeles. A lot of it is created in your own backyard. Meet Ben Pecori and Gary White. It's a modest shop tucked in the city's east side between Broadway and Milburn. But step inside and you're someplace else. A Hollywood costume shop equipped with a one-of-a-kind designer you'll only find here in Buffalo. Custom hatter Gary White has designed hats for Denzel Washington, Leonardo DiCaprio, and Frank Sinatra. He's also designed for the big screen.
Boardwalk Empire, Dick Tracy, Batman, Batman Returns.
And don't forget Wild Wild West, 3:10 to Yuma, Tombstone, Indiana Jones, and of course, Marshall. But aside from White's vanity plate, if you passed him on the street, you'd have no idea he's rubbed shoulders with some of the country's biggest stars.
When I started my business many years ago, Jen, it was the people in the community that actually supported me. And I've never forgotten that.
He's a proud East Sider and has no plans of moving.
My heart will always lie in this part of the city, even though it isn't an Elmwood Avenue, it isn't the downtown New York City, but I feel somewhat of a loyalty to the people in the community here.
White may make hats for Hollywood A-listers, but his work is his passion. And he's just as excited to serve the people of Buffalo as he is to get a call from the cast of Boardwalk Empire.
And I always wanted to build a better mousetrap when I started my business. And I said, you know what, if I'm going to make a hat, I might as well make a good hat.
A principle he's always lived and worked by. It once took him a month to get a hat just right. The most important part of White's work, though, boils down to keeping history intact.
It's very important that when you go to do a production like that you be period accurate. So the costuming that they use in Marshall, from the shoes all the way to the headwear to the watches, even the watches are period accurate that they used.
Buffalo animator Benjamin Pecori has the same goal, only he accomplishes it using new technology. He and his team at Empire Visual Effects also worked on Marshall. Their job, keeping things authentic with post-production work.
Making period shots true to the period, so there might be some removal of certain things, removing lines in the road that wouldn't have been to the period.
Isolate both eyes.
Pecori went to school at UB. He studied computer science in the dawn of advanced animation before Toy Story made history.
Seeing the potential really excited me, and I knew instantaneously that this is what I wanted to do.
And like White, he's been able to do it right here at home. Pecori and his staff of about a dozen have worked on films like Harry Potter, Creed, and Barbershop 3.
It's very interesting because the technology is something that's always evolving and getting more and more advanced, and it allows artists to do things which are far more realistic or more complex, and to tell stories that just would be impossible to tell in previous years.
But he says animation is still an art form and the basics will always be the same. For White, the basics often boil down to what exists today.
Even the height of the ribbon, or the type of ribbon they use, or the type of bows that are on that trim the hat on the outside, it's got to be period accurate.
Same goes for the dyes. Certain colors only existed in a certain period. Others didn't exist then, so making sure a hue is exactly right is vital. Thanks in part to growing tax breaks for film production, Western New York is becoming a go-to location for filming.
Working on Marshall, I really had a sense of pride because the film, I believe, is really going to showcase some of the great places we have here in Buffalo.
Places that keep some of Hollywood's best-kept secrets around, something the Buffalo Film Commission continues to benefit from as more and more big-screen projects set up shop in the Queen City. Now, as journalists, we often say the best part of doing this job is the people we get to meet, and that really couldn't be more true on a story like this. Both Ben and Gary have so much pride in their work, and it was frankly really inspiring to see the work they create right here in Buffalo. Animators at Empire Visual Effects were working on a lot of really cool projects that unfortunately I wasn't able to show you because they haven't technically aired yet. And Gary White has a few big projects on his horizon as well, including designing hats for a film upcoming with Christian Bale. Reporting live in the studio, Jen Shantz, News 4 at 6.